Hey, you gotta spotlight us. Let me get the share.
Yeah, my wife's brought those home a few times.
Oh, fantastic. Fresh and
Gonna start.
salsa. Tell me when to
Hit
hit
it,
play.
Joe.
Good evening and welcome to the After Hours Show. My name is Joe in Norway. I'll be your cook this evening. I'm joined by Ann Lee, a retired college professor and a community member at the Daily Coast. They're a member of the National Council of Independent Scholars and is a contributor to the book, The Political Economy of Art, Making the Nation of Culture. And we may be joined later by Arjun. We are joined by Arjun from deep into history, South
Arjun is
Asia
here.
representing.
Guys, I'm out of breath. I ran to get here. Give me a second.
Finally, I got some South Asian business going on. Well, actually, we've got some English business to get to since England's been in the news all week. It's been
Yeah, for
England,
sure. There's a lot to
definitely.
get to this week. Is that looks like South Indian cooking to me.
Oh, well, this is full English, man. I mean, we're talking, we're straight from all the way south, Staffordshire, Branston pickle, chutney. We're going to be making rhubarb chutney with chahote or butt squash, as I like to call it. Looks more like camel toe at the moment. But yeah, chutney, the
So
Branston
only camel
pickles.
toe for the moment. I think that goes down in posterity.
Yeah, I thought I'd make some chutney since we've got all of this rhubarb and maybe temper it with rhubarb is a vegetable, but it's mostly fruity and it's full of oxalic acid at the end, so we want to not eat too much of it again, unless we're really looking for kidney stones. But I thought I'd make. I was reminded of England when I lived in England, the unique um, technique that English people have of going to South Asian, Indian, Pakistani restaurants with the fancy white tablecloths and everything. They'd arrive and they'd sit at the table and order a stack of papadums
Love it.
to the ceiling almost and chow down on these so many papadums with chutney and whatnot. And I was like, you could fill yourself up before you get your food, man. Never understood it.
Wait, hang on. Yo, let's not get like racist with this, okay? Because like I don't know if you're aware of this, Joe. India is a really, really big place that was never
Oh,
a country before, like
uh,
until post-colonialism. So like our
mhm.
cuisine is vastly different.
Oh,
Like
well, I don't
the
know that, but in
no,
England,
no, but
there's
for sure, for sure. I love myself some I love me some papadums. Fun fact, the uh
hot
most
dog.
of the white cloth you wonderful UK Indian restaurants, Indian food
Mhm.
restaurants that were made in like the 70s, 80s, 90s, sort of like made it
Original.
like in the UK Indian food is like pizza is in
Mhm.
like quite literally. Like they literally go eat Indian food without doubting it. They were actually Bangladeshis.
Oh, the first
Yeah,
wave of
because
immigrants out.
they were
Brooklyn.
refugees from the 1971 war of
Mm,
Bangladeshi independence between India and Pakistan when East and West Pakistan were forcibly broken apart in lieu of a genocide. The similarities between
mm,
what's happening now and that particular war are remarkable.
mm.
So I'm
I was
down,
gonna
man. I'm down.
I
Let's
was gonna
go.
say very English as in English Raj.
The
Yeah, so
Raj,
I
yes, indeed.
the Raj. So
Mhm.
the reason for in addition to the refugees was the Anglo-Indians who came back to India and longed for the food, and they brought chutney became popular, and also the curries and whatnot. And Branston pickle was one of those that started in Staffordshire somewhere, which is a turnip, carrot, brown sugar, malt vinegar jam, basically vegetable jam,
Right.
famous for their sandwich on
Achar.
their sandwiches and everything.
Achar,
So
yeah.
yeah. So I thought I'd make something similar to that, maybe
Awesome.
spice it up a little bit. I've got uh, some coriander, which Lane loves. We're gonna grind that up proper. We've got had a little bit of allspice left. That was the secret to the Branson pickle, I think. And I have some garam masala, tiny bit of ginger left, a little chili,
Joe,
brown sugar.
I'm gonna send you my garam masala.
Ah,
I'll
mm,
toast the herbs. Like genuinely,
mm,
I love to cook too. So
mm.
I'll toast the herbs and I'll send you a jar.
Oh, cool. Thank you. We've got papadom. I was going to make from scratch, but it ain't
Why
40
would you?
degrees here. I can't get these to dry outside. And
No, always buy
mm,
poppadoms. Pro tip. It's
they're
not
a
worth it.
bit.
It's so much work. It's not worth it.
No, I know. So their papadoms are made uh, of uridal, which is the kind of a mung bean looking pulse. And it could be also with chickpea flour and a little bit of rice flour, and then seasoned with some asafoetida or hing. And sometimes I'll put spices in it. You can get these white bread plain flavored ones that a lot of people are enjoy, or you can get like garlic papad, or my personal favorite, the rabbit and happy child papadums. This one, you seen this one?
I've never seen that one, but I am encouraged
Oh
by the rabbit and the
yeah,
child.
oh yeah, they're cool. Like I love the packaging. It's from the 70s.
Yep.
These ones have crushed cumin. These ones are really flavorful. So I was gonna. There's two ways to make it. Uh, both ways are healthy. One is deep frying them, and the other is putting them on a skillet, toasting them. So
Yeah. So yeah, for the record, in the north,
yeah.
never deep fried. It's always toast.
Mm,
Always, always,
ah,
always. They make them like
ah,
akin to like roti, but
yeah,
Mm.
you obviously know, like less
yeah,
heat, right? Flip them
yeah,
constantly because they puff up right away.
yeah.
Mm.
So either way, you're going to get either charcoal bits a little bit, or you're going to get deep fried stuff. So it's still like a fancy potato chip. But anyways, they're super tasty, and they cook really fast. But I'll get the chutney going, and then I'll show you the technique for doing these. We'll try to do several at a time, see if I can manage that.
Cool.
But has been a busy week, hasn't it?
Joe, I really appreciate the cross swords of your rhubarb. How will the rhubarb play into this?
So I'm gonna dice this one and these guys up, and saute them with onion for a little bit, and then sugar, vinegar, a little water, And then, oh, we're also going to be doing some culture clashing here. I've got some nice Japanese brown black vinegar, which is made from fermentation of brown rice. So it's very deep. Try to get some deep colors in there. So we'll do that.
Cool. All righty.
And I could shave off the skins. I'm debating. I want to get the deep color, but then you also it's like how much kidney stones do you want to risk?
Ah,
We'll see.
Awesome. And yo, as a special surprise and just as a token of how much I love you guys, I read the entire, well, actually, I listened to the entire book, Regime Change, that came out
Oh,
this week by
oh
Maggie
God.
Haberman and Jonathan Swan. So I
Jesus.
have thoughts, so hopefully we can get to that. But there's so much news and so
Absolutely.
much
oh,
context. But there's some like
well,
I was gonna.
there's some juicy stuff in there.
It is.
yeah,
It is. They've been yakking about it on the air. I mean, they've been all over regular television yakking about it. So,
Right, like for political nerds like us, it's not necessarily a like too much of this is like revelations, but the thing is it's there's certain insights there into like how petty these people actually are and also
mhm,
oh,
into their minds because it never occurred to me. We'll get into it, but like it never occurred to me how much these people actually believe like their project in the sense that this is the only administration in history where most of the cabinet lives on
uh,
military bases because they are actually scared of us. Like, like that was shocking to me. I was like, I thought, because like there, I thought like at least part of it was an act or like Dave Rubin-esque, like a grift. But
mhm,
it appears that like there's some real like true believers. It's pretty crazy.
well, I mean, there has been a history of demonstrations in front of cabinet members' houses, up
mm,
to and including Supreme Court justices. So,
Oh,
they're
good.
they're
That's what's
justified
supposed
in
to
being
happen.
paranoid.
It's how we're supposed to keep these people in line. They shouldn't be able to
Absolutely.
move to military bases. That's
Well,
insane.
actually, it really fits in their messaging anyway, because they ultimately want to send troops wherever the hell they want to do it to screw with us. So they're
Oh,
just on message in that sense.
Who
just because you
was it
said
sitting in the
troops,
White House? Who was it sitting in the White House who was told that you better give them something or they're going to take everything? Was it Roosevelt? I think it was Roosevelt or something.
Or
yeah, I
Jackson.
mean, that was very, very early FDR rhetoric.
Mhm,
That was what FDR was telling rich people. Like, because the New Deal was an
mm,
effort to save
yeah,
capitalism from itself, right?
Mm,
Otherwise, it would
mhm,
be fascism or communism at the time. That was their thoughts.
yep.
So the only way to save the American way was to heavily regulate capitalism and also empower workers. So like that's why there was like so much mass unionization at the time. Of course, it
Mm,
was killed as soon as Roosevelt died.
indeed.
I've one of my great historical what ifs is that what if FDR had lived for another 10 years? Like our
Wow.
world would be completely different, completely different
This,
place.
yeah, country be completely different. Absolutely. Might not have
Well,
even had the Korean War. Anyway.
mm.
Reagan
Speaking of
died
that,
when he got shot.
mm,
What if Henry Wallace had become president instead of Truman?
Oh, indeed. Indeed.
Oh, for
Well,
sure. But he was
well,
like
that
a Democratic Vance. Like he had no riz.
that's
You know what I
true.
mean? And
On
like
the other
that
hand,
that
if he were there, I don't think he would have, bombed Japan.
I don't think so either. Um, Truman was a very, very different cat. In fact, like everyone thinks that the Republicans started the first Red Scare, but in truth, it was Harry Truman. He had in 1947, he had all government employees sign a pledge that they weren't communist. And that literally like fed that Red Scare thing. Because if a Democrat could do that, then it always allows the Republicans to go more psycho. It's
Mm.
throughout history. I mean, we're living in the result of third wave politics right now. And
Oh
it's
yeah.
every time you ignore the left and then meet the right halfway in terms of the political spectrum, you're constantly moving further and further right, which makes the right more and more and more crazy. And
Yes.
I mean, look at this. Look at our world.
Well, speaking of hegemony, I'll try not to make everybody lose their appetite or get a little bit saddened, but the UN had released their second report on Israel's continuing genocide, specifically
Oh.
targeting Palestinian children.
Mm.
They had an inquiry and released a report on the 18th of June. I just wanted to play, indulge me here for a few
No,
minutes.
definitely.
Hey.
This is important.
Thank you. We'll take a question online from Jeremy Lange from Radio France International. I will read it for the moment. Can you elaborate on the targeting of children directly at the head or upper body? The report talks about some kind of, quote, game, unquote, used by soldiers targeting a different body part each day.
I must share with all of you that apart from the sources that we've quoted in the report, we also conducted oral hearings after we arrived here in Geneva this time. And 3 of the doctors who were involved in treatment of children in Gaza spoke to us. And they confirmed what the report has found on the basis of available material, that the gunshot wounds were specifically directed at the head and the neck to cause maximum damage. In one instance, a breastfeeding baby was shot by a quadcopter through the head, and the baby now suffers a permanent paralysis. So there have been all these instances quoted in the report of specific targeting of children. Quadcopters, as all of you are aware, has thermal imagery. It has infrared heat cameras which can tell you the shape of the body. And so the soldiers are able to immediately detect, sitting wherever they are, that this is a child who appears on the screen. And indeed, it is like a game for them. And we have quoted that in the report, where the soldiers say that they can, let me quote this. In the IT VX documentary Breaking Ranks Inside Israel's War, one Israeli soldier described, the drones, in my opinion, are what most dehumanizes the other side. You see everything on a screen. You drop the bomb. It feels like a game. You can sit in some basement of a house, safe, with your helmet off, scratching your balls, half-dressed, and kill Palestinians. This is a quotation. This is why I say Israeli soldiers have themselves put on the public domain so much incriminating evidence about what they've been doing.
Well, that's the problem of having draftees as well. Conscription has forced, on the one hand, you have these particular units who are very committed to whatever genocidal behavior they have. But a lot of, everybody's conscripted, so somebody's going to spill the beans on this stuff.
Well, they're just promoting it. But
But
a
it's
lot of
all,
those questions in that session were, well, there was a number of them from Israel as well, saying that the report's biased and whatnot. And the damning evidence is their very own soldiers.
Right.
yeah, totally, 100%. Like they're so heavily censored. And spoiler alert, most of the VPN companies in the world are all Israeli, and they use them on their own population during this war to block as much as possible. but there are a
Yeah.
few that actually, work that aren't Israeli and they can't monitor. Actually, I think one is Norwegian, Joe. And
Ah!
NordVPN, not a sponsor.
I think it's called
Proton.
Getting Herbs at Midnight with the Wolves Around.com. But like that's how we're getting
Okay.
these reports. It's so heavily censored.
Mhm. Oh, these are the seeds of the chayote, or butt squash, as I like to call it.
Huh.
Just cut it in half, cut those
Look at that
out.
slice.
Mm,
You perfect. It's perfect.
lovely.
Indeed.
So beautiful vegetables, so juicy and crisp and crunchy, whether cooked or raw. It's fantastic.
Always our emotional
Pick it up,
roller
Larry.
coaster
I'm
with you
telling you,
guys.
you'll
We
love them
watched
if
the
you haven't
Gaza
tried them.
report, and now I'm like now I want to taste that. But Prop N this week, huge
Yes.
news: Russia, Ukraine. A lot has
Hey,
happened.
well, it's hard to tell. I mean, with all due respect, on social media, it appears as if Russia's falling apart. I don't think it is. There is heavy duty reporting and there's a lot of background crap going on, but I don't think it's collapsing. I think it's collapsing in certain places, and I finally got around to looking at this stuff, and you're quite right that the Ukrainians decided they would use an entire, 1,000 or whatever drones to attack Moscow, which is pretty interesting. Although you got to remember, when you're sending these swarms in, they're not all getting there. I mean, you're
Yeah,
getting,
like look what Joe,
20% maybe.
Prop N, just apropos of what you're saying. Look what Joe's holding up. The
This is
the
from
number of
Apple.
apps removed due to government takedowns. Look at Russia. It's
Whoa.
insane. Like the level of censorship there is insane. I have a
This
friend
is
there, Yana, and we can't talk. Like she's that bad because she was a little
mm,
bit, even though she still called it a special military operation on her YouTube channel, she was critical of it and gone. She's gone. Like can't use anything.
this was from Apple's 2025 transparency report. Russia recently asked its citizens to start using Android because they can't quite get a number of apps have been refused by Apple on the App Store. Namely the heavily spyware type apps.
Yeah, they've changed but the thing is like the scummy part is like all these sanctioned American companies. Like I'll take fast food example, like KFC, like they
Mhm.
basically like sold their companies, sold quote unquote, leased their franchises in Russia to local oligarchs.
Right.
So like they have different names. It's still KFC, but like for one is Kamchatka fried chicken. Like they just alter the name a bit. But when you
Oh.
go into the store, they're still running the KFC ads on the flat screens where they show the menu and stuff. It's too funny. You see like the Colonel when you go inside. Like it's crazy. But Prof. N, what do you so like in your reading, this supposed, I think the most important thing beyond the strikes in Moscow is the apparent bombing of the oil facility in Crimea. And
Yes.
from what I've seen and what I've been able to glean, and I would love to know, I think all of us would love to know your interpretation of this, is that in essence, they're nearly cut off because there's damage to the major bridges and
That's
the
true.
citizens there for the first time ever. And I've seen it's hilarious. You see like these Russian like Airbnb owners in Sevastopol. Like all my reservations have been canceled and I don't know why. Like that's how censored they are. They don't know there's a
Uh,
war going on. So like
well,
what is your
Well, that's
impression?
part of it, though. They, you know, that they're being isolated, but in some ways they're being siloed. And the reporting is pretty good. I mean, in the sense that yes, refineries are getting hit, but they were hitting refineries before. I think there is some problem with some of the Russian air defense, but it's not. I mean, they've already moved out a bunch of ships. They got kicked off the whatever it is, that little spit of land on the western side. Uh, it's little. It's not as clear as I think most people want, because on the other hand, the Ukrainians were able to hit serious command and control stuff, and there's no reporting on that of any kind, and you don't get a lot of local kind of social media. People aren't using their phones or anything, so and that may just simply be censorship. So
Yeah, and
it's hard to tell.
there's extreme parallels with this, spring, summer, I would call it summer offensive by Ukraine using drones, to what Iran did
Oh, yes,
during
that's
this
true.
war.
That's true.
I don't think it's over, but like the ongoing war, I'll call it that.
Well, it's all the same tech that's being used, so the constraints are similar.
And it's
I
the same,
mean,
and Russia has the same problem, even though their weapon systems aren't as expensive as the US weapon systems, like the air defense in particular, it's still way more expensive than
oh
Ukrainian
yeah,
drones.
absolutely. The Ukrainians have done an amazing thing, and it's not just the Ukrainians. I think there's a lot of German capital sort of seeping over the border. I mean,
Indeed.
that there's a lot of other stuff going on that we're not seeing much of. And I would assume that's, there's a bunch of capital flowing into sort of mid-level, mid-sized Ukrainian defense industries. And you see some results of it. I mean, at a very sort of low level, they're not losing a lot of vehicles, for example, or they're replacing vehicles at a higher rate. So that's good. The other problem is, of course, we don't really know a lot of what's going on the ground, and the data doesn't tell us a lot. So
It's
there's
yeah,
it,
and,
it
and like alternative media, where it would be generally reliable in terms of like the Iran war, doesn't work given
no.
with the degree of censorship. You get like weird propaganda. There's
Yeah,
this
yeah,
like, is it like Times of England? I forgot the YouTube channel, whatever the hell it's called. It like every single day for the last, what, 4 years now, Russia is about to lose and Putin's going to be overthrown. They produce the same
that's
show
right.
every single day and it gets
Yeah.
millions of views. I don't get it.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
social media swings a little towards the right center anyway, in terms of the UK stuff, as far as I can tell. But then
Right.
again, there's throttling going on, and YouTube is being throttled as far as I can tell. On the other hand,
Yeah, if you say anything pro-Palestinian on YouTube, Instagram, forget Twitter, it's gone. Twitter's dead. Even TikTok, you are throttled. I know this from like, this is not anecdotal. I know it like from myself. I know it
mhm.
from dear friends, like dear podcast friends that I've had for 8 years now, you know? You get throttled. If you
Yep.
like a post that is pro-Palestinian, you get throttled.
Yeah. And since I actually still am on Twitter, although there was an attempt to hack my
Oh,
account
me too.
recently.
Do we follow each other? Follow me, man. At Deep in History. Come on. It'd be an
Oh,
honor.
yeah. Yes, I will. I thought I did. Yeah, it's just interesting. Twitter is very interesting. It's got a lot of stuff that, however their algorithms are working. It
Oh, I gotta show. I have to show you guys. Okay, so all right, I'll do this. I'll prepare the slides for next week. I'll prove to
you know.
you that built that because there used to be this thing way back when I first started, when I was a young, gentle soul, first exposed to social media. In the podcast time, I came in when there were like 100,000 podcasts being new podcasts like a month. coming out. It was huge.
Whoa.
And um, Elon Musk, so we had these things called Follow Fridays. New podcasts would do like hashtag Follow Friday or hashtag FF, and they'd recommend podcasts that they like to their listeners because they were all like independent, small things.
Yes.
Elon Musk replied to one. So I was like on one with Age of Napoleon. My friend and brother Everett can attest to this, and a dozen others as well. There were like 14 of us in this thing. Elon Musk was the first reply, and his reply was Age of Napoleon is excellent.
Cool.
Every single one of us had to mute that post almost immediately because it was just bot replies for
Ah,
I
absolutely.
think it was the X1 rocket or whatever at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Just all complete BS, like nonsensical. It had nothing to do with anything. I've over the years I've unmuted it and I still get bot replies. He literally is the
There's a
bot king.
shitload of
He
that, as
created
far
the
as I
bot
can tell.
problem
It's really hard
before
to
everybody.
find stuff. It's really hard to find stuff on Twitter because the bot traffic is huge.
Yeah, unless
Whereas
you're a Nazi, and then it's like
well, yeah,
Wonderland.
absolutely. Then you're enjoying all this reactionary crap that's coming, from bots. Whereas, and they haven't co-opted Blue Sky. So I use Blue Sky mainly, but Twitter gives me information faster, even though I have to wade through the bot traffic.
Like I don't have the will to. It was a lot of work organically building up my like
Look,
Twitter following.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I have a blue sky, but I don't have the will to like go to like a version of Twitter that is just like Kamala Harris libs. Like I don't have it in me, Prof.
It's
Man.
it's not
They
that liberal. It's not
they
that
still
liberal.
exist.
Oh my God, the K Hive is yeah, it has become a colony. It's like zerging across our galaxy.
That is unfortunate. It's gonna, 2028 is going to be chaotic, assuming that we still have a democracy.
Yeah,
Um,
it'll be interesting to see what happens, which also like brings us to like so the Iran US memorandum of
oh,
understanding. It's
Jesus.
Well,
ostensibly been signed.
I was just going to
Well,
mention BB and President Israel Katz, correct? They were at some graduation for combat soldiers, and Netanyahu said, "We dominate southern Lebanon," quote, "from the summit of Beaufort Castle, and we will remain as long as required in the security zone.
You know
uh,
We
what?
do not intend to withdraw from it." And
By
the
well,
stationing,
Israeli
that
military, this is the president, Israel
Mhm.
Katz, the Israeli military will remain in the security zones in Lebanon, in Syria, and in Gaza without any time limit. There is another important message which I hope is clearly understood in Tehran. If Iran attacks Israel because of our activities in Lebanon or for any other reason, we will strike it with full force in a way that will clearly demonstrate the gap in power between us. So these are some
I mean,
genocidal
well,
motherfuckers.
absent like with what's all been going on and the sea change in opinion towards Israel in the United States, which I'm frankly shocked by. I never thought I'd see this. I think all
Mhm.
of us would agree. It's been insane and it's come from within the right, even though they are clearly like that. Those are the anti-Semites, right? Like the only
well,
anti-Semites exist on the right. Um,
fortunately, it's breaking apart, which is good.
No, it's a good thing. Just like Candace Owens going like
Oh, Jesus.
conspiratorial on Erica Kirk has completely destroyed the right online ecosystem. Mad
God.
respect to Candace for doing that, even though I cannot stand her. Um, but just like this memorandum of understanding, Iran has been very, very specific, and the Strait of Hormuz, despite what the media is reporting, isn't open. Like
No,
Joe, apropos of what you're saying, that Iran is sticking to that. They're standing by their ally, proxy, whatever you want, Hezbollah, because it has to be like there has to be peace, period, or there can be no peace. You
right.
They're a
know?
fellow Shia, so not much different than New York Jews having an affinity for Israel. Or,
But
you
yeah,
know.
that's what I mean. Like, I think Iran has completely, like, tactically, obviously, they can't, they did, like, they lost the war. Like, they can't win. But strategically, they have completely won this war
It's
because they are
unfortunate,
showing
but yes.
loyalty to their ally, Hezbollah, in a way that the US did not to any of the Gulf states during the war.
Well, that's true too.
It's like, it's
Well, there's so
destroying.
much that we're not really getting. There is actually throttling going on, and the US corporate media is not following up on what is really important. I mean, there were certain things that seeped through, but a lot more bases got hit. The damage, they haven't shown a lot of the damage. I mean, you get these sort of spurious at the beginning of the war, you got some versions of damage assessments, but now there's no damage assessments. And
And
um
and let's be real, like those damage assessments were just because they forgot they were such a pathetic administration. They forgot to turn off one international satellite service.
oh yeah,
So
that's
for the
right.
first
That's
two
quite
weeks, it
true.
was
Quite
available
true.
without delay.
Quite true. That is quite true. Well, and other things we don't sort of perceive as either important or unimportant, because I think the Iranians somebody shot a missile, another missile. There's a missile a day happening. So another, ship got hit like this morning or something.
Yeah, no, no, absolutely. I think, yeah, yes, every day. You're right, every single day, because I think until Israel is gone, like that's their way of signaling. Until Israel gets
Yeah.
the F out of Lebanon, and I can't verify this, but I heard from an Iranian friend, like a Persian friend of mine, who has family back in Iran, who's in the government. She
Mm,
told me that they also are angling that Israel has to pay reparations to rebuild the village. They like I don't know if any of you have I mean I know you have, but like for everyone, they Gazified like the southern fifth of Lebanon. They have destroyed
mm. Yes.
everything. It's a
Yes.
travesty that they built a base on this historic Crusader Beaufort Castle.
Oh, Beaufort
That is
Castle,
gone.
right. Well, the castle went back and forth for a long period, but now it's in Israeli hands, right? I mean, that was sort
Yeah.
of the
Mhm.
deal. And it is controlling the heights of, it's strategically really important for it to be there. Although I think it's been attacked so many times, there's not much of a castle left up there. But anyway.
Yeah, no, it's it's ruined. But yo, I just want to point out I just want to point out how pathetic the apropos of what you're saying, the mainstream media is. Because Trump signing it at Versailles was it
What a dope.
not
What
a
an
single
idiot.
goddamn person in any mainstream media on the planet, okay, has pointed out the fact that the Treaty of Versailles was negotiated at Versailles, but it was signed in a rail car, okay?
Yeah,
A
yeah,
railroad
absolutely.
car. Okay, a very fancy railroad car, but it was signed in that. The
Mhm.
agreement, the complete surrender of Nazi Germany was also signed in the exact same rail car. And after that, the French blew it up
Mm.
because they believed like after these two wars, humanity could not, those lovely, lovely French, innocent French, believed that humanity could never embark on this kind of war ever again. Because why would we?
Well,
But did you see all
it's
that gold?
oh God.
The gold trim, man. Shit.
Oh my God,
Oh.
that brings me back to the book because there's one
Oh,
moment
well,
that
yeah, running around with it super glue and, putting stuff back, that's pretty amusing, whatever stories. Trump wandering around with a tube of super glue trying to put, gold crap back on the walls and stuff.
Okay, yeah, we definitely have to get to the vandalism. I put out a
Huh.
tweet post like I've been like paraphrasing characters from The Sopranos during this administration, like it's schizophrenic, like because it's crazy. But
Oh,
literally,
you
like
have some pool. You have some
this
pool
week,
cleaning
my
tips.
line is like I'm paraphrasing Tony Soprano when AJ gets busted. I think it's like in season 1 or 2, like vandalizing his high school swimming pool. So I'm like literally thinking all the time, how do you vandalize a reflecting pool? It
Well,
does
it's
not make
so
sense.
You put a dye
bald-faced
pack.
lying.
You put a dye pack in it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But nobody did that. I mean, the thing is, these are people just looking at the stuff that floats up from the bottom. But then, Trump always doubles down. So he says it's a 350-foot gash, and that has misogynic significance as well. But I mean, who's gonna cut it? Number one. Number two, he guaranteed that it wasn't cuttable. It's just amazing how he's kind of really lost it. On the other hand, he put a fence around it. The fence has a tarp on it. All other kinds of crap is going on.
I love
And
how he
somebody,
arrested an
He's added 4
ex-Olympian.
turrets, 3 or 4 turrets as well. Got a little
oh
bit of
yeah,
a
absolutely.
concentration camp, forced lapse going on.
There was a Swedish reporter who like got like accosted by National Guardsmen for while she was doing her report. I can't do the Swedish language. You guys will think I'm racist if I try, because I don't know how. But she basically like just like was going shorty vorty vorty and like put her hand in the reflecting pool just to show while she was being recorded, a live report, and she was rushed by National Guardsmen. It's crazy.
It's amazing. Well, those people are just sitting around anyway, so there's this surplus of, military wandering the streets. So it's clear that they've got a bunch of them around the pool. But now that they put a fence in, they'd have to do less of that, fortunately. Otherwise, you'd have these, roving, units running around grabbing people. Mainly because there's a whole bunch of people who, knowing that people were getting hassled for dipping their hand in the pool, whole bunches of people would have shown up to do that. So that's why the fencing is there. And then my other story, or the other thing that I'm concerned about, also because I think the photographs show it, is that what Trump did was, rather than just pull off his name on the facade, he pulled all the lettering off the facade. It looks like there's no other lettering there. So it's like,
Wait,
I'm going to take my
at the
ball
Kennedy
and go
Center?
home. Yeah, because it's still covered with a tarp. But the Washington Post got a picture from inside the tarp, and I couldn't see any of the other lettering that wasn't supposed to be pulled off.
I wouldn't be
So
surprised. These people have no class. Like they have forget class. They have no humanity. Like
yeah,
they're just vessels of like the worst instincts of humanity.
it's just they're such simplistic reactionaries. They just do stuff, and they seem to think that we don't understand that sits in a much larger context of, how people are mean, cruel, stupid.
Oh,
Okay,
come
can I
on,
riff on
man.
your
Obviously,
wait,
you've not read
let me
JD's
riff.
second memoir that just came out.
Yo, Joe, I was just gonna yo, I got you. Because I was gonna say, let me riff on mean, cruel, and stupid. So, from the book,
Oh,
Regime
oh,
Change. Um, there's an incident in front of Rupert Murdoch. Okay. Remember when the what was it, the Wall Street Journal, was it, that posted Trump's note to Epstein? The disgusting poem with a woman's body
Oh,
inside
right,
it,
the
like there was
birthday
pubic hair.
the birthday
yeah.
card,
Yeah,
whatever.
precisely. The birthday card. right? So he's suing he was suing the like Fox and like the conglomerate for $10 billion.
Oh yeah.
And in order to like bring a truce between the two, they invited Rupert Murdoch to the White House along with a bunch of like Fox News people
Mm.
and Judge Jeanine Pirro. Apparently, she was the Mahatma Gandhi among this group, the peacemaker. And they didn't speak of it at all that night. All Trump was doing was asking Rupert Murdoch who he likes better for 2028, Marco Rubio or what's it called?
Vance.
JD Vance. And so he's like, "What do you think about Vance?" In front of everyone, mind you. And he was like, "I like JD. I think he's very intelligent." And then later on in the night, um, when JD said something and Trump was taking attention away from Trump, Trump asked Rupert Murdoch, "What do you think of Marco for 2028?" And he said, "I think Marco is perfect. That man is brilliant." And it shut JD down. And then later on, apparently JD got some swag back at that worst blunt rotation table ever. Um, and and Trump again brought the subject up of who Murdoch would back in 2028. And Murdoch said, "You know what? I really like the gold, all the gold you have brought around the White House, all this gold." And then Trump said, "I get you. Cubans love gold." In front of everyone. Like the
Oh,
level of bootlegging we get to see is not like the way he debases the people around him is
Mhm.
just incredible.
well, he's just out of control. I mean, he's reverting back to what he really is, and everything else is trying. Well, I mean, they constrain his activity so that he's relatively less dementia ridden. They really try to restrict his appearances, and they probably, whatever, do something to boost his activity during those camera periods. But other than that, um,
And Trump is convinced
Trump is out there, and his
he's
postings
convinced.
reveal that.
Yeah, he's convinced it's going to be Newsom.
Oh
The
yeah.
Democratic nominee is going to be Newsom. It's not that great a book, guys. If you need to know anything, let me know. If you want,
Oh, it,
I can do an hour on it if you guys want.
Well, we should talk about it simply because there's a lot of content being produced, in mainstream media on it. I mean,
Yeah,
seriously,
no.
I have seen Maggie Haberman on more than I've seen her on in like a couple of years. It's quite amazing to me.
According to Emma Vigeland, she thinks I'm hot.
There we go.
speaking of hot, my oil should be hot enough now. We've got the two pans here.
Shimmering.
So instead of testing with the whole papadum, so these are sun-dried bean flour crackers, basically. So they need to be heated up in order to be cooked properly. So instead of using a whole one, you can just break off a little piece to test it to see if your oil is hot enough. Uh, Seems all right. A little more. It'll just puff up. We'll just do a test. We're gonna give it a little bit more. So I'll just hold on a minute. Oh, I guess we can do the one over here. Should be. It's a thick one. So you say in North India they're using the
Yeah,
skillet
like
for
yeah,
the on
exactly.
the
Exactly. And then you flip it. You don't keep it down. Flip, 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 flip,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
it's crispy. Yeah.
I'm looking for my I have a little lid to press it down. Yeah. So it'll bubble up. I don't know if you can see the
Nice.
Nice.
Now I'm hungry again. Damn it.
Sometimes I'll put a lid over, have a lid that fits about the right size, find the right size for it, and then you can get this one. You can also do something like this.
I've seen Joe. The way you're doing it is perfect. I've also seen it done in India, like when I was a kid, and they
Mhm.
had like propane stoves. You know,
Mhm.
electronic stoves weren't ubiquitous at the time,
Mhm.
and like I saw them like literally do it on the fire, like really,
Over
really
the
quick.
flame. Yeah.
Yeah, like on the
Yeah,
propane
yeah,
fire, they
yeah.
set them really, really quick.
Yeah. Cool.
But
Yeah.
great job,
So
man. Thank you for doing
that's
this.
that's
I
about
may track
and
down a copy of Regime Change, but anyway. They just seem to have a lot of good stories, and I don't know if they're going to get reproduced, at a extreme level, but they certainly do show how nuts Trump is.
so while they're still hot, you can gently bend them, and then
Nice.
they'll keep their shape. So little fancy shapes or whatever you like. Stack them up or leave them flat. It's up to you. And try one of these. My favorites. These are the ones with the cumin seed.
Yeah. There we go.
Two at a time. Here we go. We got enough heat here.
Oops. There we go.
So these don't take very long at all. But they're a touch more greasy. I don't know.
What kind of oil are you using, Joe?
I've just got corn oil here. That's the most affordable one. Oh, shoot.
There we go.
Affordable one we've got. Shit getting expensive out here. Well, it's always expensive. It's getting even. We're starting to fill up the pantry with canned goods for the war.
Oh God.
I kid.
Yeah, we're all going to become
We have a long
preppers.
border.
Prepping will come
Whatever.
back.
Joe already knows where like their secret seed vault is. He's going straight there. Don't worry about Joe. He'll be fine.
Getting the seed vault, protecting the Norwegian seed vault.
Yeah, and we should also just briefly like really glory in the wonderful hope like Zoran Mondani and his coalition that has empowered the DSA
Mm.
to win
Oh yes.
these elections. Like it's stunning, it's awesome. And the thing is, Zoran is like inspiring politicians like young people worldwide to like pay attention to politics because they're seeing that, oh God, all we have to do, like we don't have to win Twitter wars, which I can't blame them because they grew up completely in the app sort of environment. Um, they're starting to realize, oh wait, we just have to go talk to people. And suddenly it doesn't matter how much advertising the other people have or what the hell is happening on social media. We can get our candidates elected. We can get real people elected, or I can run myself, or my friend can. It's really like his effect across the West is, I would argue, far greater than any damage Trump is doing.
Well, that's true.
Internally, America has been gutted, but
Well, the problem though still is that it's a New York. There's certain New York things about here that are a little problematic. I mean,
I don't know.
knocking off centrist Democrats, that's a big deal on the one hand. On the other hand, you're not going to get DSA people to knock off in a final election Republicans, and that's where it's going to become really a problem.
Okay, so I too.
We're gonna try two at this time because I'm lazy. We'll see if it will be more efficient this way.
Joe's a freak, guys. He's a cooking freak. What if they blend together and create something new?
Oh, what's what you got going on? I didn't flip it properly. Yeah. Oh, that oil isn't hot enough. Oh, there we go.
So, Prof. N, I was thinking exactly the same thing. However, I think this is an exception to the rule in the sense that he won the districts that like the leaders of the Democratic Party control,
Well, that's
right?
true.
Hakeem
Well, but
Jeffries and Chuck
you
Schumer's
saw that
power
before
is
with AOC. I mean, essentially, there's always this kind of rift between, the machine and these other, progressive dissident groups. So
But I
I
don't know,
think
like
that's pretty
three
much
for
the same.
three. I think like if we all like if we all like embrace the spirit and do what DSA did in New York, which is simply going out and talking to people for a candidate you're excited about and shares our values. That's I honestly think it's infinitely more valuable than we could ever believe, you know? And
Well,
I don't know, I'm
but
just
we're
trying to
talking
hope.
still about blue state This is still blue state politics, that
True.
it's really going to be important in the places where, with all due respect, it matters, in terms
For
of
sure. For sure.
seizing back the Senate, which is, I think, even possible now, which is good.
I, yeah, I have reservations of whether like we're actually like the Dems can take the Senate because just 60 senators is a lot. It's a huge threshold, right?
Mm,
However, I agree with you. I think it's transferring, and I think we also have, you know, data to back this up because if you recall last
mm,
year, who was going around into the most red districts in America? Bernie Sanders
mm,
and AOC
Mm.
were doing this
right.
joint tour specifically in the most
Mm,
red districts across the entire country, and they were
mm,
drawing record crowds.
mhm,
What Zoran advanced the Bernie movement by actually tying it to DSA
mm,
and on the ground organizing, like true
yes.
grassroots, rather than it being online, you know? And I think
Yeah, yeah.
there's some hope in that. You know what?
They were doing up in Maine, no?
Yeah, I mean,
Plattner.
I don't know what to make of that guy. I'm so confused.
What, Plattner?
Yeah.
Greg Plattner and his tattoo?
Well, I'm not worried about the tattoo, but like I don't know. Like I've heard so much crap about the guy and I'm still with
Well,
him. He's anti-establishment.
Yeah, it's
That's
well,
all,
good
yeah.
enough for
all
me.
coming from the
Yeah,
establishment.
I wrote a little thing on whether, I was going to send money to Plattner, simply because it is confusing from a non-Maynard point of view, what he's doing and how he positions himself. It's unfortunate also that fortunately, Collins is sort of sabotaging herself. And then there's this discussion about Kavanaugh, which is quite interesting. I mean, there's a couple of juicy
Mhm.
bits, I think, in regime change on Kavanaugh, right? I mean,
Not really. Not really. They don't go too deep into the Supreme Court beyond what was quoted. You know what I mean?
uh,
Like it was make it to seem
yeah, yeah,
more than what it
yeah.
is. Just like, last week there was that very epic article in the New York Times about them meeting in the Situation Room and trying to
Uh,
hide the Epstein files. That's just like it's a fragment of a book. I think it was meant to sell books.
yeah.
Like I said, it's not worth buying because it's nothing we don't really know. And if you want the juicy details, just like I said, I'll do an hour. Tell me when. I'll do an hour with you guys. We can have like a whole discussion. I'll go through the whole book with you. It's not worth buying. Don't give them money. It's not
Well, I
Ezra
mean,
Klein and it's not Michael Wolff. It's better than
yes.
that, but it's not great.
Yeah, that's what I would have expected
And they're
anyway.
probably gonna get like a Pulitzer or something for it.
That's unfortunate. Now that will be unfortunate. What I hope though is that, particularly with the the sort of teaser about the sit room thing, that assuming that the Democrats know what to do with it, it's going to sink Vance's candidacy in 2028. I mean,
Well,
that alone should do it if they have hearings and
but this
the
book
Democrats
is
take over the
actually
House.
launching Rubio. It makes Rubio look cool in compared to Vance. Like that's how
Well,
neo-lib these people are. It's
yeah,
very
that's true.
it's a weird read because it's not like they're constantly like they're constantly reminding you that they're trying to be objective when clearly they're not. They're not.
No, absolutely not. I mean, Haberman is the source of whatever X number of leaks that have come out. It's Haberman who's done the leak. So
Yeah.
it's really unfortunate. And then
Yeah, and like but
Swan is also kind of that kind of guy too. That's why Axios gets some of these real juicy bits that occasionally are exclusive to Axios, for example.
yeah, for sure. I won't. I think I don't know. I'll find out some leftist journalist to do a deep dive onto him because I want to know what that guy's about because he comes
Oh,
off,
Swan?
yeah, he comes off as like genuine, but that's just like the British accent, right?
Yeah.
The way he
Yeah.
speaks,
That
he's very well spoken, so he seems like genuine to the North American ear. But
Well, Americans are like that with any accent. A proper accents from the right countries are fine in this country, but any second you verge off into some other weird accent, Americans get nervous or whatever.
yeah, I think yeah, I mean all of us do, right? It's just if you grew up here, it's sort of like I don't know, through popular culture, it's blended into our like our subconscious or whatever.
Well, and it becomes a bigger problem in academia, for example, British accents,
Oh my God,
uh,
don't get me started on academia. It's
uh,
nuts. Like
it's
we should
just
have never
stupid.
listened to any of these people. Pierce Morgan has the most base asinine British accent. Like it's not sophisticated at all. Yet he has a
No.
career because America specifically, I'm sorry, this one, I'm blaming America, Pierce Morgan on America because specifically to Americans, he sounds intelligent and he isn't. It's crazy.
Well, that's the bit why Steve Hilton, whatever in California, there's this sort of, delusion that
That guy.
Californians are going to vote for this guy. I mean,
I loved his campaign ad where he's like, I'm in Malibu eating tea and crumpets. And yeah, I'm as California as you. Like it's like, dude, what are you doing, man? No one would ever vote for you.
uh, he's got the worst consultants. Whoever is running his campaign, well, it's a cash grab of some kind, but it's just really weird to see that sort of percolate, sort of
What
outward.
one thing I do will give this book Regime Change credit for is the they really go into the depths, the layers of the depths of the corruption that is complete
Oh,
and total throughout the Trump administration. And they give like concrete examples. There are
yes,
a couple of
yes.
surprising things that even though I despise him, it made me feel a little less hate towards Jared Kushner because apparently he was actually pushing back against listening to Netanyahu, which was shocked me. I always assumed
Well,
like
that's weird.
that.
That is weird.
But it's them, it's Haberman and the Swan, like they could easily be just like, they know he's young enough to be relevant for a while. So I don't know how much to trust it, but apparently him and Witkoff were constantly suspicious of the Israelis' motives throughout
Oh,
the process,
yeah.
which was I found surprising but the way they explained it didn't make it completely unbelievable. I'm suspicious, but I'm not. I don't completely disbelieve what they
It,
said.
but I think you're right about the neo-lib element there. I mean, they have to do that in some ways. On the other hand, you've got to see that the Iranians, really don't like. It appears to me that they really don't like Witkoff and Kushner at any of the damn meetings. So that's kind of interesting as well.
Yeah, it's fascinating. And it's also fascinating. I'm sure everyone saw this, earlier in the week. I think it was actually on Monday when it was posted, when they Vance was there at the meeting for the to sign the memorandum of understanding, and uh the Qatari and the Iranians skipped him, right? Um, the media was reporting it like it was a snub, but in fact, the both of the emissaries had previously like made it known that they would not be allowed themselves to have pictures shaken like of shaking hand pictures taken of them shaking hands with the Qataris, sorry, with JD Vance,
Mhm.
the Qataris or the Iranians, because they would not be like they would not allow it to be used on like social media as propaganda for the other side.
Right.
And I mean, Jon Stewart also on Monday, if you guys haven't seen it, Daily Show. I'm not a
Yeah.
Daily Show fan, but they've been killing it lately. Jon Stewart, The Daily Show, found out that like also JD Vance, another reason they might have wanted to shook his hand. 2 minutes before, JD Vance was behind the desk where the chair where he's gonna sit on, and he did a quick pick and rubbed it on the back of the seat. It was very funny.
Whoa. Oh God.
But yeah, it's been a crazy week. Don't read anything into this nonsense about Tucker Carlson leaving the
Oh,
Republican Party. That guy
that's
is just for himself. He's a racist and he's a fascist, and he fancies himself like a new Goebbels or whatever. And now I
Oh,
think he's actually realizing, and I really deeply fear that the general populace is going to will this into existence, that he will run for president next time.
oh
But
God.
the fact of
oh,
the matter
is he
is,
like Joe Rogan? He's doesn't have a party. He's
That's
yeah,
crazy.
yes.
yeah, he literally said, I've left the Republican Party this week. And he's like, I'm not a Democrat. I'm something else. So if he's something else, it's starting a party without a party while drawing the entire Republican Party with you, and whatever. I think in his mind that you know as you said, the Rogan sphere male base, which I think has diminished drastically by
Well,
Trump's actions. I don't know, in my opinion.
structurally speaking, the United States does verge into third party territory occasionally, and usually manifests itself in kind of weird ways. John Anderson,
Mhm.
uh, Jesse Ventura, and Ross Perot. I mean, you could actually see that still possible.
No,
It's
precisely. That's why I think that's why I think that's the danger, that he is a Jesse Ventura on a national scale.
yes.
And that
Well,
can
and
only
all of them are
happen.
reform. Somebody could try to create a quasi reform party thing in the United States, because that's what Ventura and Perot were anyway. Was essentially this weird populist thing of crazy people,
I think then
which has
I think Carlson's calculation is post-party. I'm not a
mm,
party. I'm an American, and I want to represent
uh,
all Americans. That will be his pitch.
well, it'll be an interesting pitch, but it's really going to still need grassroots support, and he's got to latch on to some mechanism that's going to really support that,
I
because
think they'll flock to
he's
him
not
the
going
way
to
that they
eradicate the primary process.
No, I think he will run in the primary process. But he will run like that. More extreme than, Trump in 2015 was just like, dunking on the establishment, right?
Oh
Because
yeah.
it's pathetic. Like if any establishment could be dunked on, it was them. Um, and he was crass, he was brutal. Carlson has a more universal appeal, particularly to the dangerous, like Ezra Klein type and
Oh, well, that's
YT
true.
type centrists.
That's true.
And their audiences. He also comes in with a huge fan base. And in this book, in Regime Change, I didn't know that Trump sent Tucker Carlson to go talk to Nicolas Maduro before they kidnapped him. It's insane. That's what I said. This
Oh,
book
right. That's right.
sucks. But there's a lot of like centrist abundance agenda kind of tangential to abundance agenda propaganda in there. It's crazy that like imagine a president asking a news anchor or a podcaster to go represent the US interests. It's
I've,
Well,
I've got some
but
news here, kind of abundance adjacent. Publishers Weekly is reporting that book sales have reduced 3.1% in the first quarter.
mm,
Um, but self-help books in particular had the largest decline, 26.3%, while Home and Gardens got 24%. Ouch.
that's well,
Uh,
okay, yay for
the
self-help
chat box.
shopping and boo for home and gardening. It feels like it's all just
the
like we didn't win or lose. It's like
the
all
self-help book industry in the States is massive. That's almost as big as the Mick,
for
isn't
sure.
it?
It's good that it's dropping. And I think that it
yes.
combines with the drop of, everything that's happening with the right online now, because those were the places they went to pitch this crap.
Now people are
Well,
just typing in asking the chat bot how to do shit, getting the
well,
answers and
yes.
not having to go
That's
there.
the more insidious side of it. I saw my first, or I saw my first
Oh,
ad where
you
one of
should.
these law firm, one of these Better Call Saul shyster law firms is starting to sell the idea that litigants can talk to AI chatbots, which is like that's the first time I've heard that, and that's much more insidious or stupid,
Oh,
whatever.
James, you're on mic.
Yo,
Anyway,
I saw
we're
a
close.
video on YouTube where a sovereign citizen lady was like using Chat GPT or whatever she was using to argue sovereign citizen rights against getting a speeding ticket with a cop.
Oh
Or
Jesus,
it was hilarious, and spoiler alert, she got arrested.
God, I it's just unreal. But that's the problem is we're beginning to rely too much on these things. It's not, and part of it is laziness. Part of it's just pragmatic.
I
And as
don't
I
like
said before,
I honestly think, Prof. N, do you like how often do you guys use it? Everyone, tell me, like, just like how
no,
often you actually use it?
I use it once a day
Every day.
usually, just to check on whether I'm doing something correctly, or to check against a definition that I have. I mean, I mainly use it for tabular data. I mean, what I like about AI is that it does all the it doesn't do it perfectly because I got to go
Yes.
back in and fix it, but it does tabular information interestingly. Charts. It can actually do tables, small tables, 2 by 3, 3 by 3, or whatever
I
of
got you.
a certain topic, and graphically speaking, that just saves me a lot of time.
For sure.
But I have to go back in and fix it anyway because AI hallucinates. I mean, the damn thing hallucinates. It's quite weird.
Yeah,
But I
it's
mean
like for me, it's pointless because like I can ask I tried just because like my cousin made me. He's like and I was just trying to show him how stupid it is. He's like, it can really help you writing in your scripts and your research, Arjun. I'm like, really? And he was so adamant, so adamant. So I was like, okay, come, let's do it. And it was pointless because I have to check every single fact.
That's
And
true.
guess what? In terms of the humanities, 2/3 of it was just garbage, complete garbage. And I was asking about like Julius. I was being generous to my cousin because I love him. And I was being generous. I was asking stuff about Julius Caesar's campaign. The campaigns. This was specific questions. However, it has been written about hundreds of times, right? So why wouldn't, given the fact that quote unquote AI, these, you know, large language models, which are just predictive algorithms,
Right.
if it's been trained on all this data, why could it not get the same answer that I already knew?
Well, I mean, I think that's a, you know, with all due respect to capitalism, that's why they want to suck you in so that you'll get the premium version. It's like you know, subscriber Twitter. You know,
Well,
that
this was like
it's got to get better if I
I was
pay more
using
money for it,
I was using my
or I pay
cousin's
money at all.
version. It was like the horniest version of ChatGPT possible. It was spent like $200 a month at the time.
Oh,
And
Christ.
like, yeah. And
Uh,
like, I was like, Sean, it doesn't match. Like, don't you
yeah.
get it? You're getting
It's
wrong
not quite the
information.
same as programming languages.
No,
Oh, no.
absolutely. And that's what I was saying.
That's
Prophet,
probably the
you're quite
issue
right.
there.
Like in terms of like mathematics and stuff, as long as you check it, it's pretty much okay. But if
As long as it's
anything
using a
beyond that,
calculator.
Oh,
no.
yeah.
And what I hate about this, what is so insidious about this also is how many people are treating these algorithms as companions.
Oh,
It
Christ.
and it is literally causing psychosis on a scale
Yes.
we lived through it. 2020, we saw all our old people get
Yeah,
completely
yeah.
mind
Absolutely.
screwed by Facebook and YouTube, right?
Right.
They hadn't been
Right.
exposed to it constantly. This is another level of that, but it's affecting all ages.
Well, yes. I mean, the problem is that we function too quickly on some things. Like if I use it, I always have to ask a second question because the damn, you know, machine decides to be sycophantic on the second question. You know, in other words, it politely says, "Oh, well, that's an interesting idea. I think we should do," you know, and it actually gives me better detail on the follow-up question. But
That's
but
an
their first
interesting
answer is
idea,
like
Professor Ang. Could
fascistic
you
in
repeat that
some ways.
again?
What?
You
Yeah, it's a
just
loop.
need
It's a
to
loop.
and you just need to reveal a little bit more of yourself and your personality to the
Oh, that's
box.
right.
And then
That's
you'll be
right.
able
That's
to
right.
that's
That's
how it
Just
right.
give me your
works.
It
social
needs to
security number.
assemble. Yeah, that's right. Well, it's gonna get well. Anyway, I
It's
don't
so
want to get too
pervy, it's
paranoid.
weird. It's like I don't know. For me, it feels unnatural.
It
But
is.
I cast no aspersions on anyone who uses it. I don't have to do graphic charts. I have a friend, a cousin who's a doctor. He uses it to average out like his EKGs that he has to do,
Oh,
like to figure out
well,
averages.
probably
And he
could
said
do
it works
that pretty
very well.
efficiently.
And I'm sure it does because it is a mathematical algorithm as well.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just for
absolutely.
anything human, like you know what I mean?
Oh
Like
no,
it's not. It's
it's
dangerous.
not so. Well, it has. Well, with respect, I mean, the algorithm doesn't function. It's not a good language model. It's a language model, but not a good language model. It doesn't. It's not as reflective as it should be, and well, it's just not designed to do what it's going to do. That's the, you know, you think it's going to do one thing, and it's really not designed to do that yet. I mean, at some moment it probably will, but we're not close to that yet. Anyway,
Yeah, I hate to always end like our time together by saying that we're ruled by perverts, but we are ruled by perverts because those are the people programming goddamn
oh no,
AI.
no disagreement there. Hey, we're getting close to schedule time, and at the bottom of the hour, John is going to do Alfred Hitchcock Presents. So we need
Oh,
to sort
hell
of talk a
yeah.
little
Prof. John back in the house with some Hitchcock.
Yes, he is. John, you want to tell us about it?
I'm into hizzy.
Stop being so cool, man.
Well, it only happens when I hang around you, RJ. You just exude coolness.
Button your shirt up, John. Come on.
Yeah, man. Come on.
Yes. So tonight on Alfred Hitchcock Presents, we have a woman who loses her mother in Paris. She's trying to figure
On
out
screen.
what the hell happened. What's that?
Oh, it's on screen, by the way. Just put the
Oh yeah,
the,
yeah,
schedule up. Yeah.
It stars someone called Patricia Hitchcock. I'm gonna have to ask Bruce if there's any relation to Alfred Hitchcock. Jeffrey Toone, Alan Napier, who probably best known for being Batman's butler, Alfred, and Maurice Marsac. Yeah, so please join us for that.
Awesome. That was a great Alfred. This is 60s Batman, right? Amazing.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes, he was great. He was great. After that is Silicon Valley Tonight, 10ish or so. Saturday at 5 p.m. is The New Statesman. I don't know if Lane is here to talk about that. Lane?
Only just to confirm, yes, because I haven't seen it for years either, so yes.
All right.
New Statesman, written mail at its nastiest.
Such a brilliant show.
And it is cool. It's very, very cool. And then there is a Saturday Night Theater, I think. But I'm not sure what's on it. What is on it?
On the screen, Susanna here.
Crisscross.
Talk about it.
Hi. Yes, we are wrapping up a June noir and neo-noir month, and I have a souffle from Rifle Joe's Cooking tomorrow night. It is 1949's Crisscross, and it is considered one of the top 5 film noirs of all time. I have not seen it, so I'm really excited to see it. And it stars Burt Lancaster, Yvonne DiCarlo, and Dan Duryea. So join me at 7 Eastern tomorrow night.
Excellent. After that is Bring the Music on Sunday at 5. Star Trek. Next Generation.
I have been waiting for this episode. I love this episode, I gotta say. Picard answers a distress call from a planet whose inhabitants believe their equivalent of the devil will return imminently. Guest stars.
Is it Kirk?
I was gonna say Riker. Modern day Riker, 2026 Riker.
Born.
Yes, it's Riker, and he's bringing a large suitcase full of cocaine.
All right.
No,
John, please come with me. You have to see him, beer belly in his uniform.
You know, there's a Star Trek convention, a big one in November in Philadelphia. So if some of you guys want to join me, I will go.
Oh my.
No.
Yo, post a date. I'll come. I'll get your back, John. I'll get your back.
If some of you guys want to join me, Jesus Christ.
I wanna get a picture with Jerry Ryan.
Yeah, prepare to pay like $500.
It's $100 to get a picture with her. Unbelievable.
Wow.
Come to my Comic-Con. I'll hook you up for free.
All right, I'll do that.
There we go.
But this episode stars Marta Dubois, who I think gives a great performance. Paul Lambert and Marcelo Tubert. And I strongly recommend this episode. It's a lot of fun.
I don't even remember this episode, so I will be interested.
Yeah, same here. Like I'm intrigued.
Really?
I'm gonna tune in. I'm tuning in.
And it has gams for heart.
There we go. Lane, what are you going to show after this at
I love
I
it.
7?
I'll be showing once again, going straight. Norman
right.
Stanley Fletcher in Civvy Street,
Right.
trying to make it in the
In the
very
in the real
pre-Thatcher,
world. In
the very
non-personal-
pre-Thatcher, yeah, very pre-Thatcher. It's based on the 78, which is like setting the scene for Thatcher. So
Mm.
bad
Mm.
times, and he struggles to get a job. Yes.
Very, very Thatcherite. Thatcher is.
Yeah. I think she might have been homesick at that point. The next election, the year later, she won. The evil swine.
So
Hey,
that's
Lane,
at 7 on Sunday.
Have you ever ventured into the rhubarb triangle by chance?
Rhubarb. No. In
Bloody
Wakefield.
In Yorkshire?
Yeah, Wakefield. Oh, yes.
I don't know if it's a fatal rhubarb triangle, but they grow rhubarb under
What's with you
constrained
and
conditions.
rhubarb lately, Joe?
It's the global center of rhubarb is Wakefield.
Oh, bloody hell.
You can hear it growing. Yeah.
Well, they put it under clay
Yeah.
pots so they don't get exposed to the sun to get chlorophyll, and they're more tender and sweet, and they must make sounds in there, and they grow them in these sheds packed in.
Yeah.
Oh,
And the squeak as they grow, and you can hear them squeaking.
Night terrors.
Joe.
It sounds like you're still
God.
suffering.
Not squealing. They're not in pain. I mean squeaking. It's the actual. You can hear them squeaking. That's the point. So it's
Joe,
insane.
Travis in the chat is wondering if you could describe exactly what you made for all of us. It looks beautiful.
So what I made is a rhubarb and butt squash or chayote chutney. So with some brown sugar, some Japanese vinegar, and garam masala, coriander, chili, a little bit of MSG just to kick it up a little. And then
I think he's talking to me
these are
about
called
squeaking.
papadadom. If you go to South Asian, Indian, Pakistani grocery, you can pick these up. They're uncooked, dried bean wafers. So it's like a bean flour made of uradal or chickpeas, and you can either cook them in deep fry, or I prefer on the griddle.
Give over.
Less hassle, but I can show you the difference here. So this is the uncooked. Do we have enough light here?
Yeah. It's less terrifying on the griddle, but it's meant to pop.
So it's
Get it in the-
super
get it in the
smooth.
fry.
You can't eat them raw. Don't eat them raw. I don't want to eat beans raw.
We're not animals, Joe. Come on.
But then you just
We are.
slowly put them on a medium heat griddle, flip them constantly, I use a little something flat that you can rest upon it so that it stays in contact, because you'll notice that it bubbles up. See all the bubbles there?
Pop
This
or
is a
down.
good one.
That's why they pop.
And
There you go, right?
Fry 'em.
so this is a good one. This is on the skillet, and this is deep fried. So you can get a little bit of oil there. But
No.
you get much more. The size
use
is
heat.
you can see
You're not
size.
cooking these properly, Joe.
Yeah.
You're not cooking them properly.
Oh yeah.
No, it's no, but it's Lane,
If
it's
that's
a
deep
noble
fried,
attempt.
you're not doing
It's
it.
a
You
noble
haven't got it.
attempt.
You haven't got the temperature high enough.
Mm.
It's got no. I'm not joking. It's got to be extremely high, and you put them in the deep fry, and they go,
Yeah.
and they're done in a second.
Yeah, they're
They
done like super fast, Joe. This is like extreme heat. be it
Yeah.
oil. I've never had them oil, but
Dangerous.
like it's a high flame. But
Yeah.
it looks great, and your chutney looks amazing.
Yes, chutney,
Yum.
chutney.
And your
Yum,
mise
yum,
en
yum.
place, come on. You're almost making me pro rhubarb over here. So
Yeah,
Rhubarb's awesome, man. Squeaks.
we're
Lovely.
almost at the
Back
end of
off,
our
Ray.
little session here, folks. I will mention that we're still reading Malcolm Harris on Mondays at 8, and on Tuesday is the Red Hour at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. And on Wednesdays, I am doing something or other, which relates to my amusement about certain ways of thinking about science. But I will
Awesome.
just leave it there.
What night works good for you guys if you guys want to dish on this book? It's fresh in my mind. So, I don't know.
Thursdays.
Thursdays? Okay,
Thursdays
I'll book a time. I'll book a time, an hour
Mhm.
on Thursday. And
Alrighty.
as always, like an absolute pleasure, guys. I hope we gave
Thank
you
you,
some new
Arjun.
information. Always a great.
Deep
Yeah.
in history.
Good to
Yes,
see you all.
absolutely. We'll
Love
do better
you.
next week.